I think any reader who's even somewhat familiar with Tolkien, if you tell them that there's enchantment and loss, or there's this play between enchantment and loss, they'll tell you, well, yeah, of course there is. But that's just kind of on the surface, I think, of what you're talking about here. I think the larger argument is that there's a deprivation or a loss of the locus of enchantment. And what happens when you completely lose all sense of enchantment is you end up collapsing boundaries for, or you end up, yeah, I'll say it this way. You end up losing creativity to a degree as well. And that can create a kind of prison in the individual. I think we take for granted today somewhat our ability to create, even if it's not in an artistic way, but to create ways to maneuver around the world. Is creativity, or the loss of their creativity, do I have that right? Is there a part of that in this discussion as well?
Yes, definitely. And thanks for bringing that up. These things are tangled together. But part of what I talk about in the book is Tolkien's use of creativity as an effort to maintain enchantment, and that it was a struggle at times for him to do that. For example, he had a long period where he basically got stuck in writing The Lord of the Rings. Um, and he got out of that by working a dream, a lifelong dream, repetitive dream that he'd had about Atlantis being crushed by a giant wave. Well, that's not the dream. The dream was made him think of the Atlantis story. The dream was of himself being overcome by a wave. And he worked that into Numenor and the story of Numenor. And after he had done that, he was able to get back to writing The Lord of the Rings. So I think that dream of the wave was something inside Tolkien that got his creativity stuck, that he was feeling too threatened to continue. And he had to free that up in order to be able to find the enchantment in his creativity and go ahead and create the enchantment in The Lord of the Rings.